Hey guys, I'm WUSA. It's Sunday afternoon. This is season 3, episode 22. And because of tomorrow being such a busy day at work and having 8 in-person meetings tomorrow, I definitely cannot get out tomorrow. So we're going to do something today. Generally, when I have meetings, I try to set them all up for the same day so that I can spend one day in the office instead of 5. And definitely succeeded for tomorrow. So right now it's late afternoon, 36 degrees outside, raining, still raining. Who knows how long it's going to keep on raining. Seems like it's been forever already. But our plan today is to hit some slots only casinos, 1 or 2 blackjack casinos, and go from there. So okay, let's step back here. It looks like it's going to rain today and Tuesday, and the rest of the week is pretty much going to be dry, so that's good. Temperature should be going up next week, but this week is still going to be a little bit cold. I updated my spreadsheets, my charts, everything, and I am behind my goal for the year proportionally, by about $2,800 right now. We've had an excellent month this month, except for those 2 big losses, and we're going to work on reducing those losses and playing smarter, playing bigger spreads, and possibly 2 hands when we can get away with it. Also going to be rolling out some new stuff this week for slots, new ideas and things, and we'll see how that works out. So all that going on. Right now I am leaving town, heading off to my first spot, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, got to stop and get some gas before I leave. Definitely low on gas. I'll probably have to fill up again before I get home. Hopefully, right now my goal is to be home early morning and maybe still catch a couple hours of sleep before having to go to work. But we'll see what happens. Sometimes I get more time, sometimes I go directly to work. So right now I'm looking for a place to get some fuel, and then I'll be on my way. Alright guys, I am back. It is very windy outside. I was just looking at the temperatures and the radar, and it looks like the wind is going straight south, so from the north down straight south, so that's why it's getting cold all of a sudden. Still raining, a lot of wind outside. I went into this place, and the first machine I sat down at, I see this couple. They're always here, and they asked me how long I'd been there, and I told them that was the first one I sat at, and I said I was going to move on to another city here in a minute, and they said, "Oh, that's good for us." And I said, "Yeah, why don't you tell me how you're really feeling?" So I walked around there. There really wasn't anything worth chasing at all. There were some machines that people were sitting at that were possibilities, but probably still going to be long shots because there's people checking in there. So I decided just to move along. Ended the session ahead $46. So I played that machine in one small play. That was like 2 spins, and that was really it. So moving on to the next spot, and this next one has this new game that I've been playing, and I'm going to have wild swings on it most likely, and just depending on how many people like me there are in there, if there are any plays. But I think it's definitely worth playing. I'm going to check out to see if I have any kind of free play there. Usually it's like very, very minor. Although now that I've started playing this machine, I've been giving them more play. I may start seeing my free play starting to pick up, but I think last time it was a weird number, like 8 or 18 or some ridiculous number like that. But anyway, moving on to the next spot. Should be probably another hour and a half before I get there, and then we'll have about a 45-minute drive to this spot after that. So letting you go for now, and I'll be back to update you shortly. Alright guys, I am back. So I went to that place, and it was pretty busy, and all the people checking the machines were there, and it was pretty miserable. Initially, I was there for about 20 or 30 minutes, and I was just bopping around 0, down 10, down 20, somewhere in there. And then I found a couple plays, and all of them went miserably. Found a play around $3, lost a couple hundred on that. $4, lost a couple hundred on that. $6, lost a couple hundred on that. And the next thing you know, I'm down $870. And just everything was not working out. Everything, I was getting the bad variance on every play I made. And then on my way out, took one final turn, and I found 2 plays on 2 machines right next to each other, and those helped me get some of that money back. And after those 2 plays were over, I left minus $477. So minus $477 there. And moving on to the next spot, we're going to be playing primarily blackjack, and the goal is to make $1,000. So we'll see what happens, see how busy it is, see how many tables are available, and hopefully we can make some money tonight. So can't say I'm very happy about what happened there, but it was like, I let go of so many plays that were borderline plays just to play the good ones, and then still got skunked on the good ones. So it's just very frustrating. Cold outside, 37 degrees right now, still raining, the sun is down, it's just damp and dark and nasty out, windy still. So anyway, letting you go for now, moving on to the next spot, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So moving on here to the next spot, I walked into the blackjack area here, and there were 4 tables open. There was a double deck, there were 2 $50 tables and a $100 table. The double deck is not a good table to play here, so that's off the table. And the only times that double deck is good is with certain dealers who were not here tonight. And then there was a $100 table, Asian guy sitting on that one playing, and one of my friends from the casino has no idea what I do, came up to me and was telling me how good that table is, and I need to go play the $100 table, and it's going very well. And then, like I said, there were 2 $50 tables. One of those tables had 3 players already on there, so that's off the table. The other one had one young Asian kid drinking some wine, and he was playing 2 hands at 150. And he puzzled me a little bit because I saw the count drop. Well, so I started watching like 2/3 of the way through the shoe, and starting from 0, which is when I started watching the table, the guy had 2 hands at 150 out. I saw the count from when I got there go down by 12, and I saw him go down to 1 hand at $50. So I started wondering if maybe he's counting. Well, by the time the shoe ended, it was a -6 according to my count. But if he was counting and he was playing 2 hands of 150, that means he probably thought it was a true 2 at that point. And if it went down and came back up by that much, it would still be a positive shoe. And so I figured that most likely he's not counting. So I sit down, I buy in for 500, playing next to him, and he proved to me that he was not counting. He figured out the secret of the table. I know you guys leaning in here to listen to what this is. The secret is, when there are 2 players at the table, he has to alternate between 1 hand and 2 hands back and forth, and he'll win. So that's what he started doing. Didn't matter to me, because as soon as he started going from his 2 hands to 1 hand and back and forth, the count had been going up, and that actually helped me out. So he ate up all the little cards, and then he started doing this back and forth when the count was high, so I was okay with that. So played through a few shoes there. The dealer was slow, the guy was slow, and at one point the guy, I think he'd been drinking a little too much. He's like, well, I had to hit that. The dealer had a 9. Okay. Well, I'm looking at the dealer's hand. I see 42410. No, 424 ace. I don't see a 9 up there anywhere. So, did the dealer say anything? No. Did the guy say anything? Yeah, you know, I had too much to drink, he says. The guy admits he's drinking too much. He doesn't know what the dealer's cards are. Did they come running to rescue the guy so he doesn't lose his money? Heck no. Anyway, they actually called the waitress for him to get him another glass of Merlot. Anyway, I did pretty well at that table. My low for the session was only minus 100. My high for the session was plus 1275, and I ended up leaving plus 1275. So that makes me feel a little bit better. You know, the last place I would have liked to make 100 instead of losing 500. That's a $600 difference. This one I'd rather like to make 1,000. I made a little bit more, so it wasn't so bad. Now, as I was leaving, I played a few slots. I actually ended down $25 on the slots, but that's not the important part. The important part is there's a machine that I believe is an advantage play that nobody really plays, and I'm gonna do some research on it. I did play it. I used to play it a while back, but I let it go because it's it can be volatile, but not if you get it at the right time. Usually it's only a few spins and then you're done, but if you kind of keep riding it and hoping it'll get better again, that's when you can lose a lot. So anyway, I'm going to run that by a few people and actually look into it online and see what's written about it. But yeah, overall, not a bad session. Plus 1275 on the blackjack, minus 25 on the slots, and we're moving on to another casino. Right now, very dark, very slippery, still 37 degrees, lots of traffic, and just not the funnest driving conditions. So this city in particular has a lot of ups and downs, and the roads are a little bit slippery. So anyway, I'm gonna take my time getting to the next spot, and then I'll be back to update you. Okay guys, I am back. Whew, that was longer than I expected. I expected to be in there for about 15 or 20 minutes. I was in there more like 45, and most of it was sitting at one machine. When I first walked in, I saw two machines in excellent position, like something like you don't even look for because it's so good. Usually way before that is when you want to get in, and they paid so poorly, both of them. I actually lost $20 on them. It was just stupid dumb. Anyway, I moved on. I found another machine, and that one was in decent position as well, and I recovered what I'd lost from the other two, and at that point I was ahead about 95 or 96 for the session. I moved on back to another area, and I see another one of these high variance machines that's in very good position, and I play that through, and that's the one I played on for a very long time. And actually, a guy sat down. It's like three machines in a circle, you know, like anyway, like an island, a carousel. So the guy sits to my right, and I look over at him, and his shirt has got a Vegas low roller. It's a Vegas low roller shirt where it's got the bamboo on it, and it says asparagus because the guy always says it wrong. And I talked to him for a few minutes while I was playing, and we had a chuckle about it and stuff. He said, "You're the first person to ever know what this shirt means." He said, "I know exactly when those episodes come out. I watch the news, and then me and my wife watched his episodes." And so we laughed about that for a few minutes. And just after that, I wrapped it up on that machine, and I ended up ahead for the session, $373. So plus $373. That machine did take me for a little bit of a ride. It took me the long way around, but I did get to the end game on it, and I left ahead $373. This casino was a lot more busy than it normally would be on this day of the week at this time. So I don't know what's going. You know, I do know what's going on. They've got playoff games and stuff going on, and you can bet games. So that's probably what people were doing. I don't pay attention to any of that stuff, honestly, because I'm not betting sports right now. If I was, I think even if I was betting it, unless it was a big bet, I would just place my bet and then look at the scores. I really don't care that much about it anymore. I used to have all kinds of memorabilia. I used to have a whole room in my house for a certain sports team, and I don't really care anymore. I would sell all that stuff in a minute. There's some really rare stuff. I even painted that room those colors and all that stuff. But at this point, I know what's important. What's important is making enough money to have a good life and sharing that time with your family, and that's what I care about now. So anyway, plus 373, moving on to the next spot. It's a little bit earlier on in the night than I thought it would be at this point, so we're doing pretty well so far. Letting you go for now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. Getting late now. Went into the next spot, and really it was thinning out. There weren't too many people in there, and there were still some people checking machines. I found a real nice slot in a very good position, and I lost $40 on it. Walked around, looked at a few other things, and finally found one other one I wanted to play. Played that one through and ended the session ahead $63. I looked at a lot of different things, a lot of things that I couldn't check if it was busy, but this is the place that I lost at earlier today, -4 or whatever, 77 or whatever. So when I came back here, I saw a lot of the same people that were here earlier, and they were actually packing up to go home. Bad weather is rolling in. Amazingly, I've been in the car for 6 or 7 hours total, and it's still the same temperature, and it's still raining. Everything's still the same. Not looking forward to tomorrow, I can tell you that. Having to do all those meetings and be nice to all those people and everything else. And I dress differently when I go to the office than I do to a casino. I actually dress better in the office, because in the casino, I want to wear things that are very neutral, very not memorable, no logos or anything like that. Which actually, I'm reminded of something that happened earlier today, and I forgot to even mention it, but the Asian guy that I played blackjack with, the young guy, he kept saying, "This is a rigged shoe. This shoe is rigged. This shoe is rigged," over and over again. I don't think he was a card counter, because if he was, he's either so good that I have no clue how he's playing it, or so bad that I don't know, but he kept on saying the word rigged any chance that he could, and I didn't say anything about it, but I thought that was interesting that he used that exact word. Most people don't use that word, but anyway, right now, heading back toward home. Gonna hit at least one more casino, probably a lower opportunity casino. I don't know, I don't think I have any kind of free play at this place anymore. It might be time to start using that card again, but I can rarely find anything in there. So maybe I'll come out sometime at 5 in the morning before anyone started checking anything, and maybe I'll find something that's close and make a run for it and try to build up some points. I don't know. I don't like this place very much, but anyway, right now we're moving on to the next spot, and actually it just stopped raining, so hopefully it stays like this the rest of the night and makes it an easier drive home. So letting you go for now. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So I go into this place, I look around, it's kind of thinned out for the night, but still there's some action in there, and there's some machines that people rarely check in there that I check, and so it had a few ups and downs, but stayed pretty close to even until the end of the session, and I found a couple decent plays, but all small plays. overall ended up ahead $139. So plus another $139 there. And then I'm walking around checking the far reaches of the casino places. I normally wouldn't check until the end because it's rare to find something. And there's a lady in the back there, probably 60, and she's asking people if they would take her home if she gave them $5. So I thought, how interesting this story could be. Can you imagine the different things that could happen? I'm carrying tons of cash. It could be an ambush. It could be real. It could be some kind of ridiculous scam. It could be, anything crazy. And who knows what's going to happen or what's going to get offered to the person who does take this person home. I'm sorry, but that's just what I'm thinking here. You're walking around talking to strangers, offering them $5 to drive you home. Some interesting things could happen there. Anyway, looked around in there, and really everything was pretty much taken except the off things that people don't normally check. But I don't think anyone was in there currently checking anything when I was there. There was one guy playing a machine that was definitely a solid play, but he had about $100 in the machine at $2 a spin. I figured that he was probably going to hit it. If not, he may understand what's going on, and the opportunity may not be there. So I didn't want to push it too hard and wait around and whatever. So it's already late, after midnight, and I got to get home. And overall, pretty decent. I'm still kicking myself for that one bad session. I feel like a lot of that could have been avoided, but that may just be me being going over it in my head after the events happened. I probably would have played it the same way again, but when you know the outcome already, then whatever. Anyway, right now, still not raining at this point, so I'm happy about that. Gonna start heading toward home. Gonna need to stop and get gas again. Will be the second time on this trip that I get gas. So I'll need to do that, and then we'll figure things out from there. So still have an opportunity possibly for one more stop, but let me get on the road here and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, got some gas, heading home, and really not much else to add. Like I said, I won't be around tomorrow to do an episode. I will probably maybe do an episode Tuesday, although Tuesday's going to be very abbreviated. I have a dental appointment, I have a meeting, and then I have an evening meeting as well. I may not be able to get out too much, so you may not see me until Wednesday. I may publish an episode on Beginner's Guide to Perfect Pairs in the next day or so. If you have any questions or comments, it's mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.